Ba 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 ba. Ba na 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 na. Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Ooh, welcome. Lowry, where'd you go? Welcome to the Commander Smiths. You're gone.
I'm here? I just see the Streamlabs thing.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. My bad. Give me a second. That's funny. I'm like, welcome there. Now you should be able to
there
see
we go.
it. My
Hi.
bad.
Hi.
Oh, that's funny. Welcome to the Commander
Are we live?
Smiths.
Are we going?
Yeah, we're live.
We're the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
SmithCon was a shit show.
It continues. That's my bad, dude, because I had to restart Streamlabs so that, and then I forgot to turn the virtual camera back. That was really surprising. I go to turn it on and you're just not there.
Yeah, actually, there's like a bird at my window, and I thought he was going to talk to me, but he's not. So I just let him be.
I guess so. You couldn't see the timer that I did it to like a minute. And
Nope,
all that
no
fun
idea.
Stuff. Oh, my
No idea.
All right. So yeah, this is episode 277, and it is just after SmithCon, which we concluded yesterday. Holy crap, that was fun. That was a good time. I got my butt kicked on Saturday with booze. Let's just say Malort is not my friend anymore, and it never was.
It's not? It never was. No, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, it was that was brutal. It was fun though. It was a shit ton. You're looking at something? What are you looking at? Your notes? What are you looking at?
No, well, I'm half trying to see the live feed, but it's not really working for me either there.
Oh, really?
So, but I see the comment. Yeah.
Okay.
And, well, I don't know what the fuck was going on, so it doesn't matter at this point as long as it's working, maybe.
Well, yeah. And then Wrench, I just wrote, holy crap, you got hammered. Yes.
You were hammered. Okay, so This is all real. Yeah.
This is all real.
Malort kind of whooped your ass.
Yeah.
And I kept on, I was surprised. I was, I was drinking and I was playing games, and then I just hear you, more Malorts. And I was like, oh my God.
So
what the fuck is going on?
The little fun fact about me is if I get beyond a point and I'm drunk enough, I can't taste booze anymore. And so torturing everybody with Malort was my plan. If we're going to, speaking of,
Was that what that was?
When we had everybody take the 30 shots, or not 30 shots, let me rephrase that. Everybody took a shot. There was 30 people. We had 30 people come to SmithCon, which was awesome. Thank you guys all for coming. But we got everybody a little mini Malort shot, or the mini bottles, and we all took it at once. And damn it, we should have been recording, because it was just constant,
so satisfying,
groaning and like nearly puking. Just the entire room, 30 men just, oh, it is awful. I can't get rid of the taste. It was
just imagine like
glorious.
2 of us making those noises during the cast, but 30 people. And it was fantastic. It was a good time. So what are some like highlights you had for SmithCon? We had this year, the Whirly Ball was a nice added feature. And for those of you listening that don't know what Whirly Ball is, why don't you explain what that is? Because that's a lot of fun. So I think Whirly Ball is just very much a Minnesota thing. There might be a little bit in the Midwest.
I think it's based out of Illinois, and then
is it? Okay.
Yeah, like Chicago area.
But what it is bumper cars.
Right.
So it's like 5-on-5 bumper cars. And then you have a scoop.
And
there's a wiffle ball.
What is it? Lacrosse kind of thing, almost like but it's more like the wiffle ball.
I mean, it's known as a scoop. You get the ball and then you're able to fling it.
Yeah,
almost. and then you aim it at an empty backboard with like where the the box of where the basketball hoop you want to aim for.
That's
you got to hit that. That's how you score.
Yeah.
But there's no hoop there.
Yeah.
There's no hoop. And so I think generally our points ended up being about 3-ish.
Yeah. There was one game that there was a big point, but yeah, you're right. I don't think we got over 5 in a game. And there was a couple games where it was 0, especially the very first game. I mean, I had one time I had a breakaway, no one near me, and I go to shoot and it just goes straight up to the ceiling. And then Trombley's like, Adam, you suck. And then he proceeded to get the ball and did this 3 times in a row where no one there, and he did the exact, and I was like, just fucker, riff. See, it's not that easy. And you and Chris had the best stories of it.
Flipping out
falling
of
out
it
of
almost.
The bumper car. Well, Chris, you were the first one to fall, and you fell out twice in like the same like motion. Like you fell out, and then were you getting?
I tried to get back in, but kind of. I don't really know the series of the events.
I was right next to
leaning out,
laughing
to get the ball because it was like kind of caught, and then but I also was still moving, and so I hit the wall, and that tossed me out, and then I couldn't get up, and I was like, "Stop! Don't hit me!" And then Bill from Woodbury decided not to T-bone me and just straight up knock me out.
Yeah,
and then and Chris
I was
right on the other side, but he looked like he fucking got bucked off a Bronco.
He went
like
over the front with the
the
hand. So the thing about it is like the bumper car part, it's not like your typical bumper car where it's like a steering wheel. Like you're like, oh, I go right, I go left. This is a handle where it's like opposite where you want to go. So if you want to go right, you turn it left. If you want to go
it's inverted.
Yeah. And then also reverse, you have to like spin it once and then you start going in reverse or whatever it is. But there's so many times where you're just like stuck and can't figure out which way you're supposed to go. And it's glorious. So that was Friday night. Then we did some makeshift Commander games in our hotel room. We did first time I've ever played a game of Commander on a cooler. So that was amazing. We had 3 games going though. We were luckily
we had 3 games, 2 in the
table.
bedroom. I didn't see that part, but yeah.
So you guys had a game going on in the living room, and then I was on a cooler with Chris and Travis, and who was my 4th person? It might have been Ted. God, who was right there? I think it was Ted right there with me. So yeah, it was just awesome. Then on Saturday, festivities began at like 9:00. We started getting everything.
Yeah, started playing games at 9, and I don't think we quit until midnight.
Yeah.
I don't think, well, I mean, you were done. You were toast by 11. Passed out by 11:30.
Which is awesome that hotel let us keep going. Because last year we were very much like, oh my gosh, it's 10:00. We need to start packing up.
Yeah.
This year they kind of they didn't even like really monitor or anything with that. So, yeah, the best part is
they were cool.
I remember the last game and I was playing Blanca. And I didn't even remember how the game ended. And the next thing I know, there's little bits in there. Ryan W. gave me a very nice back rub that I remember. I loved it a lot. And there's picture proof of that. And then also selfies where if you guys want to see some of these pictures, it's on Twitter. If you guys check us out on there. That's the way you guys can watch
Bill from Woodbury did a great job of putting it all together and taking pictures. Yes. And I think that, there's other people, but I saw
Bill is taking
a lot of Bills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think the pictures I used is a mix of me, Bill, and then it might have been Ted had a couple on there, so I was grabbing a bunch of different ones.
Sweet.
But yeah, so then the next thing I know, I'm waking up at 2:00 in the morning to an empty bedroom. You're not in bed next to me, not next to me, the next bed over. Don't worry, we're cousins. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? I don't remember getting here. How did I time travel here? Where's Lowry? So then I started texting you. You're like, I'm still up. I'm chatting with Bill and Mark or cousin Mark, and I was like, okay, I'm not coming down. I just wanted to make sure that you're still alive, and then went back to sleep. And then we even played a game yesterday. We went out and got some Juicy Lucy's with the leftover people that didn't head out of town. We got Jacuzzi. We had Russ. We had, who else is there? We had Renshai. We had Ted,
Renshai, and Jacuzzi, and
Mark,
Chris, and Travis. It was a good crew. I think there was 9 of us.
Yeah. Yep, 9.
And then the game was 6 of us, and yeah, we just fit that in. That's called obsession when you're like, hey, we got an hour and a half. Let's get this game in.
Right. And and that worked out pretty good. So it was man, it was I'm paying for it still.
That 6-person game where you played Blanca, Ryan W killed me with the good dog.
Yeah.
I blocked when it was 9, and then so it killed my only blocker, and then it turned into a 20 something because he got another attack off, and then he got another attack in and killed me. I was at like 7 with 20 commander, and then he hit me for 25. Just gone. Just grand slammed me out of the park.
You
He's
died
like, you
twice
are not
to commander.
coming
You
back.
died twice. It was a double commander kill basically, because what?
Basically.
Yeah. It was so much fun though, because I think I figured I got like 9 games in the span of the weekend, so it was a good time.
And like half repeating some of the conversations that we ended up having on Sunday after the whole thing is just we're so lucky that we have such a good crew,
right?
Like that are patrons in the Discord. Like I feel super, super lucky that basically everybody that we interact with from the cast is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
And so just feel super lucky, and it isn't awesome. SmithCon isn't awesome without everybody being just awesome. Right. And that's just the case.
Yeah. There was no drama. There was no all the games were awesome. I said this too, is like, the only thing that this does is it makes me sad that everybody doesn't live near us, because it's like, I hate that we have to do this only once a year.
We don't have an area that we could fit 30 people anyway.
Like, that's a good point.
That's a lot of people.
It's just, it sucks because I'm like, oh man, I wish I could hang out with these people all the time. And but it's good. I mean, we're gonna continue to do this. We're gonna keep trying to do it each year if we can fit it in. We're gonna probably be around this time. June is kind of where we've kind of talked it over and stuff. So if you missed it this year and you're thinking about doing it, might want to do it next year. Just kind of think about June, keeping that open, not the whole month. I think we were more thinking towards.
I was going to say, I was talking over with Kirsten. I don't think we could or should be doing June.
Oh, well, we had no other months.
Yeah, so we'll have to figure it out. I know. We have to figure it out, but We'll
try to get a little bit more of a warning, because I think we decided it in February or January or February.
It was late January. Yeah.
So we'll maybe try to get that figured out sooner rather than later, so people can plan.
I think we should figure it out here before summer's done.
Yeah. I'd be
so just to have a good idea. So we'll probably at least talk. We talk about it mostly on the Discord. The Discord knows it. So if you are a patron, I think we initially send it out on Patreon, but try and at least be on the Discord, because that's where a lot of the conversation happens. Right. If you are interested, you can be a lurker or whatever until we start doing SmithCon, and you'll start hearing about it on the cast slightly.
Yeah.
So and the message through Patreon. So if that's something that you're interested in, it is a lot of fun. We supply some pizza,
drinks,
and all that stuff.
Booze,
drinks. We did a poor job of telling people they could have the drinks, but we had the drinks available.
Yes. Now I basically have enough booze for me for the next year at this point. This is pretty much
you do
what it's at.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, the first beer,
of that,
this one is dedicated to Chris. I don't know if he actually dedicated it to me or whatever, but I think it was left in my cooler. Yeah. So it's New Glarus. I love New Glarus. That's the one good thing that's out of Wisconsin. I'm just kidding. Maybe. This is a raspberry tart. It's very good. This is a very good beer. Thank you very much.
Very good beer.
I should say it's the best thing from Wisconsin that isn't the people that were at SmithCon. All those people are, and other patrons. Sorry, because we got a lot of other patrons too. So.
We got plenty of patrons.
Well, patrons from Wisconsin.
But Wisconsin's basically Minnesota's sister, and that's fine.
Redheaded stepsister.
I got a gift from Bill. It's from Ursa Minor Brewing out of, I believe it was Superior, Wisconsin. For you. It's the same thing. I didn't interrupt you with that.
No, you did. I got a gift from Bill, so it's just,
well, he probably would have given you something if you weren't snoring at that point in time. just drooling on your bed.
He was the first beer he gave me of the day. So I
walked in and I thought you were sawing wood there. It was crazy.
Snoring?
Yeah, you were
really
heavily snoring.
Okay, that's
I'm sure your tongue was like, yeah. But it's a chocolate stout called Cultivating Mass, and it is fairly tasty. So thank you, Bill, for that. Awesome. And we're drinking out of some new cups that Quinn put together.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, we have a merchandise store that is going to be starting up. We'll
figure out how that's going to happen.
Yeah, we unveiled a few of the things at SmithCon. T-shirts will be a thing. These cups, which are freaking awesome. It fits.
They're really cool. Yep.
Any beer, basically. I think it would fit the crowlers, whatever they are. They're really big beers. Well, whatever. It'll fit that whole. I think it's 36 ounces or something. So then we have some the kill him tokens, all that stuff, but they're metal. We got some cool stuff that'll be unveiling here very shortly. We had to get done with SmithCon first before we can actually get everything started with that. So, so there was a lot of fun. Like I said, I got 9 games in, I think, total. I will say one thing. Tom Bombadil, very good, but fucking stressful. Like I've
just
been saying
a lot going on.
Like when we had our goldfish episode last week, I was saying it feels very complicated. It doesn't feel like a deck that any person that's newish should play. I got stressed when we were at SmithCon. Like I played it the night before and it went off and it did its thing. It's just there's so many. The thing is you have so many sagas, and I'm not letting them go to the graveyard per se. I'm trying to keep them on. Yeah. So you continuously are adding to your sagas. So each one has their trigger, and you have to. You're talking about Bill. What is he talking about? What?
Yeah. Well, I said Superior, and it's out of Duluth.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So,
then in SmithCon with everything happening around. And, questions, hey, Adam, can you get this, whatever, and it's going off. I got like an anxiety attack. Not completely. I was very close to being like, I have to step away and go to the bathroom and just take a break. Just because there's so much going on, but it was a lot of fun. I will say
did I see 2 games that you played, Tom Bomb?
I played 3. So I played the night on Friday. And then it was the very first game on Saturday, and I didn't even get Tom out at that point. Like the game, I got locked down. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to play one more time. And then it did its thing again. So the Friday and the second game, it did its thing.
Yeah, that was a full board state that I saw. So
and at one point, everybody that was done with their games were like watching, and like Jacuzzi and Renshai are talking shit. So then everything was compounding. I was like, stop, everybody, don't look at me. Look away, because the turn was like 15 minutes long, because it's like this saga, now I go in to find another saga. So it was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of any other like really cool. There was a lot of cool games. I was glad I got to play a bunch of different games. There was a lot.
And I'd say that was the different, like talking with people on Sunday afterwards, like there, from what I saw and talked about, or talked with people about, there's very little salt.
Right.
Nobody was really disappointed in their decks, other than potentially hockey, but the games were a lot grindier, at least from my experience or what I saw. So there was some really grindy games, which I think so like the combo kind of went away. And so I think it kind of adjusted from year one. Everybody was like, okay, this is what we actually want to come in with. That's kind of what Renshai was saying, and I totally agree with them that everybody kind of adjusted. And so the games were really fun. It was swingy. People got to do their thing. Like multiple people were in games all the time, and I think it was a really fun gameplay experience this year. And not that it wasn't the first year, but
we were all
it really kind of got there. Like it hit a really sweet spot this year, and that's great. Everybody brought a 7 for their deck power level. It was awesome. So,
and then even I think, wasn't it Russ brought a Commander cube that they the people drafted and did that.
Gorgeous.
I didn't even get to see that. I was in the middle of the game.
It was.
when
it
that
was
going on.
So. One of the prettiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, congrats, Russ, on what you've done with your Commander cube.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish we could do it more than once a year because it's just a ton of fun.
Right. Right.
I will say
every 6 months.
I'd have to cut back on the Malort or something because that was I'm still paying for it today. So I think if I had never mind, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say.
I'm going to say what I'm sure you're going to say is, but for the people that were there, if you want to get back at Adam, you should buy him a Malort shot multiple times tonight.
Why would they get back at me? I didn't do anything wrong.
You brought the 30 little shot things of Malort and had them try it, and they. Oh, should we say barrel-aged Malort is not as bad as it could be. It's
still bad.
Not good.
Still bad. But it's a little
actually
better.
Drinkable. I'd say that's drinkable. Malort on its own. Yeah, that not drinkable.
That was the crazy thing. Fucking guy is just sitting there in the game sipping on Malort like it's like whiskey on the rocks, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?"
I did not catch that.
You're a monster. Yeah, he just had his cup, just sipping on it. And I'm like, "What the hell, dude?"
There's a
reason why
is it like a 1 in 30 bit?
I think he needed to. Didn't he have to play one more game just to sober up so he could go
Oh, is that what was happening on? Oh, come on. No, he was one of those guys that stayed until like midnight.
Yeah.
So he got multiple games in after at least one game after you were gone. So
I don't even know. I just know that my timestamp of the picture I took with Ryan, like the selfie, was like 11:38. So I think I made it to midnight.
Okay.
I
don't think you did. I don't think you did. You played Passy Outy.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't like doing that.
Okay.
I like staying up and playing guess what this song name is and the band and all this, and instead I passed out. But I got a lot of sleep and I felt like shit yesterday, but I could have felt a lot worse if I didn't get that much sleep. So
yeah.
All right, let's get to actual. What are we doing on this episode? We're 20. Holy moly, we're 22 minutes in.
Not too bad. We're only like 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
And I mean.
Well,
and if you know
what we're doing on this episode yet.
Right. Okay. So we're going to get into tags now? Getting into tags?
No, it's not even tags. What are we doing?
Well, this moves us into tags, but
kinda,
okay. Today we're going to be doing a Fave 5 Legends from Lord of the Rings set that's coming out here in the next 2 weeks. When's it come out? Something?
They start shipping it this weekend. At least Card Kingdom will.
Serious?
Okay. Sorry, I had to play that. Sorry.
So yeah, Fave 5 Legends, and then we have tournament results for vehicles. I remember this week. Thank you. And then we will also finish off the episode with Stump the Smith Savant, first card of this round.
Oh yeah, good call. And
we're going to be giving away.
Quinn is the stumper this week. So
again, he was just like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we drew the name, but then we did fill in the bleep and all that stuff. So yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was Ryan a couple weeks ago, so then it went Ryan to Quinn.
All right.
Okay, so it is the Wombo art that I did with Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and it is in foil. You can see right there on the camera. This one's really fucking sexy.
Pretty.
I'm really happy with this one. So, yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, so it's week 1. We're starting at round 20. So we're at 20 rounds of when we started doing the giveaway stuff. So, okay. Well, I guess we can get into tags. I don't think there was anything else. It had Whirly Ball. Yeah, we got everything.
I'm gonna crack into the next supporter of today's cast with from Mr. Hockey. He gave me. And you got something different from hockey, but double intergalactic sofa ghost. It's a double dry hop New England double IPA from Modest Brewing out of Minneapolis. And we had it at SmithCon. It's delicious. 2 ghosts on a couch, Pac-Man ghosts.
Let me see.
It's very good. Very good.
Let me see the can. Nice. Adam has an unhealthy fixation on Katy. It's not Katy Perry. It's
really?
It's Lady Gaga. It was Lady Gaga is what I have a lot of on the mix.
I believe that.
Yeah. And mine from Ibukaki is Nectar Juice. It's a cherry limeade. It's smoothie style sour ale. Jar series slushy XXL, not XXX. And I don't know where this one's from. Brewed by 450 North Brewing Company. And that's in Columbus, Indiana. So that is the can for that one.
That was really good. I remember that one too.
Yeah. So all right, let's get to the tags here. You can become a patron by donating $1 or more. That gets you into the Discord, get you chatting with us, get you, if you're in the Discord, that means that you can come to SmithCon next year. Just $1 gets you in there. $5 or more gets you proxies each month if you so choose. The higher you move on those tiers, you can get foil proxies. That is the financial way to support the Smiths. If you want to support the Smiths, another financial way is to donate on these live streams. If you donate, you can make us take Malort shots. You can make us take regular shots, jelly beans. The hot beans are on different stuff, but we do have that available on all our live stuff. We are just a little heads up. We will have quite a few box openings coming up with the Lord of the Rings set, because if you don't know, a little bit of a Lord of the Rings nerd here, and Lowry is you as well. Maybe.
I enjoy it.
Yes. Matt, it's probably you're not the fanboy.
I bought a set box.
There we go. So, but you are going to be taking my battle box or collector box, and we're going to be doing battle boxes with those. And I have 6 others. Oh, good for you. That I will be opening as soon as I get them from Card Kingdom. So I sent in a bunch of stuff. Speaking of, if you guys
over like the last 6 months,
if
you were
guys,
just like,
right. If you buy listing to Card Kingdom is just a little pro tip, or not so much pro tip, but send in stuff there and you can get credit and get boxes and stuff like that, or cards.
Non-sponsored.
Right. But that's just a thing that I did I knew I was going to do that for Lord of the Rings, so that's why I did that. So there'll be box opening videos coming up here very shortly. We also have a new thing that we're going to be starting here too. Again, we have a lot of new stuff happening here. So that is a financial way to support the Smiths. If you want to support us, the free way to do it is just to subscribe on YouTube or on TikTok, or both, actually.
Just watch the ads.
Yeah. Just let the ads run, and then that's actually, we get money from it. So that's another thing. But yeah, if you like us, but you don't want to give us money, or you can't give us money, it's just, financially doesn't fit. I totally understand that. Just subscribe. That's all you got to do. Go to YouTube, subscribe there. That helps us out. Watch our videos. That helps us out even more. So that's actually financially supporting us as well. We have a ton of videos that go out every week, every month. Curated MTG is something that happens typically twice a week. Do you know what your curated MTG is going to be tomorrow?
I should. Yes, I should.
Good.
I don't.
Okay.
It was gonna go out Saturday, and I forgot because we were having so much fun.
So what was Saturdays? I'm just kidding.
But I've drank a lot since then, and the memory. I'm really worried about Savant, because me and Kirsten were having a conversation about like Batman's from the past movies wise, and I kept on going, who's the famous one? And then I was like, got there like 2 minutes later. Oh, Keaton. It was Michael Keaton. And then the 2 others after that, Kilmer and what's his nuts. I couldn't name a single one. I was and I love all of those movies. And so
is your brain
one might be tough.
Is your brain FAV Lord of the Rings cards in the next
top 10 next week.
Yeah, next week. The cards in the 99 next. Yep, you're right. So what else is it? Okay, so we got curated MTG, we got the proxy videos, we have tons of stuff. This week, I'm not sure. Are you doing a switcheroo this week? You did one last week though. You did.
No, I'm gonna build a deck. I'll build a deck. Saint Geist is Saint Draft. Nope, just Saint Draft and Rim.
Okay.
So it's just whenever it taps, it makes a human, and then if it taps a second time, it makes a spirit, and then if it taps a third time, you get a 4/4 angel in a turn. And then it like untaps whenever you convoke. And it's from the commander sets, the convoke one.
The last one?
It's pretty sweet.
Yep. So that'll be this week, probably what, Thursday? Yep. Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, probably Thursday.
Okay. So yeah, you can check that out. That'll be this week. We'll have some other stuff coming out. So the best thing is to either follow us on Twitter, or the best thing actually is to be on the Discord, because then you'll know right away right there. So that's the first place that gets notified. Like I already said, TikTok. You can follow us on Twitter, like I just said. It's Twitter. And you can direct message us there, or you can direct message us by shooting us an email at commandersmiths gmail.com. And I think that brings us right into the main segment, which I'm going to use that button. I'm not going to do all 17 seconds. That was one that I cut for the short that I made for the proxies a couple weeks ago. I was like, I'll use that here because I don't think Gandalf doing one spec really makes sense because we're not specking here. Next week we will have our one spec, but not this one. Okay, so we have let me get our preview stuff up. Oops, I wanted to show the one ring there. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, so we have the Lord of the Rings set. We are going over the legendary stuff. So the legendary creatures, or I don't know it's commanders that we want to build, or our 5 favorite commanders. We don't know each other's. I am not putting Tom Bombadil on this list because I already built Tom Bombadil. It's fun as hell, complicated, like I said, but I have 5 different ones that I'll have on this list. So, Lowry, why don't you start us off just in case? Because I have a lot. There's a lot of commanders in this that I like. So, if we overlap, I can move on to a different one.
I only have 5 because I know you were big on it. Let me. I think I have 2 that I potentially am building, and the other 3 are probably like more maybes. I'll go with my. Let's go with the other one. Yeah, probably that one. Okay. My first one's going to be Lord of the Nazgul.
Ooh, that is not Lord of... I do not have that one.
Out of the commander decks, it's 3 in a black and a blue. It's a 4/3 Wraith Noble flying. Wraiths you control have protection from ring bearers, which probably doesn't matter in a normal game. But whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 3/3 black Wraith creature token with menace. Then if you control 9 or more Wraiths you control have base power and toughness 9/9 until end of turn.
That's actually kind of insane.
Yeah. Yep. That seems really cool, right? So cast like ponder, draw a card, make a 3/3 Wraith. And just if you can, in my mind, if I'm just like chaining off some draw spells with instants and sorceries and just going to make an army. I think it's going to be probably picked off the board pretty quick, but I'm kind of excited. And then I got to go through and see how many other Wraiths there are out there to see if there's anything that actually like works in there. Like I'm not going to get, Bog Wraith in there or anything.
Well, you have
you can.
The other Wraiths that you can have 9 of them in your deck.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can have 9 of those too?
The 9 Wraiths.
Those will likely go in this one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I think they get 1+1 for each Wraith that's in play.
So that'd be big.
Isn't that what they are? I'm almost positive if I remember from the...
I forgot the specifics on it.
Wraith. Wraith. I'm pretty sure that's what they said here.
Secret Wraith or Street Wraith.
Where is the... Which Wraith is it? I don't see it on there. Maybe they're called something else.
Maybe.
Shoot.
The Nazgul.
Oh, that's probably
just the Nazgul. Yeah.
I don't even know how to spell that. You would think
Nazgul.
There we go.
That one.
Okay. Yeah, it is whenever it tempts you, put a 1/1 counter. Oh, put a 1/1 counter on each Wraith you control.
All right.
Deck can have up to 9 Nazgul.
That's cool.
Battlefield tempts you. Yeah. So yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that would be, and it has Death Touch built in on there too. That'll be nice. Yeah, I like that commander. That seems pretty fun. I kind of passed up on that one. I didn't see that. Sweet. All right. I think
where's yours?
I think I'm gonna just start with I'm gonna do Aragorn. Aragorn is my first one. Is gonna be the 4-color.
Which one?
The 4-color.
Okay.
So casting.
I wasn't sure if you were doing Doji's joke.
Oh yeah. Nice. So we got red, green, white, and blue for a 5/5 human noble. Whenever you cast a white spell, you get a 1/1 human knight. Whenever you cast a blue spell, scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, deal 3 damage to target opponent, and whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets 4/4 until end of turn. I think this would be kind of fun if you're playing multicolor spells. You know, you can hit all of these or multiples of these. All of them are pretty decent abilities.
Solid.
Yeah, so
I think Jacuzzi's building 4 different decks for this.
Is he?
To emphasize like each color.
Each color. Okay, that's kind of funny.
Sounds like work, but sounds like he's having a lot of fun with it.
So and it does. Yeah, Jake built this and it slaps. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I'll build this one. I just thought this one was really interesting because it just seems really cool.
This is one I was interested in as well, but when I first saw it, I don't know if I've backed off of it. It's not on my list. Let's say that. But I'd have to pull it because it's $15 right now. I'm not going to go out and buy it.
Right. I think
so if I pull it, it's more likely.
I won't necessarily build it because I've built 2 5-color decks the last 2, so I'm kind of like I need a little break of build. Well, I guess no, I built a 2-color and then a 5-color. So I had Urtet and then Tom Bombadil. So I probably wouldn't build this one, but I think it's really fun. I think even like just hitting 2 of these is really good, you know. But if you can get spells that are, 4, get all of those, that'd be fantastic. You get in a 1/1 out there, scrying damage, like it just seems like a really cool card. So, all right. Well, go ahead.
To me, this is what I wish that Niv Mizzet, the 5-color Niv Mizzet, ended up being.
Oh yeah,
but still, I saw who was playing the 5-color Niv Mizzet. I think that was Jay Serrator Friday night.
Oh,
and he hit like 5 cards off of it. I was like, wow, that was awesome. And that's a Bill. Bill was talking about. He was going off with Gishath and had a huge amount of dinosaurs. But Aragorn here, it just seems like a lot of value for multicolored decks. And so I think that'd be a lot of fun. I agree.
What is your next choice there, Lau?
I should write this down. 4C. My second one I want to talk about, and this is the other one that I'm potentially going to build, Treebeard Gracious Host. This is 2, a green and a white for an 05 tree folk. It has trample, ward 2, and then whenever Treebeard enters the battlefield, create 2 food tokens.
Ugh.
Awesome. Stop. You got to do that a lot, I guess. And then whenever you gain life, put that many 1/1 counters on target halfling or tree folk. And so it just allows you to kind of build it up. I think this is what I wished Trelasara would have been. So I'm kind of excited to rebuild Trelasara that I built, 2 years ago at this point, but I took it apart last fall. I think, and instead of every time you gain life, this is for however much life you're gaining. It doesn't matter how much life. Like it just can, in my mind, it gets huge. It has the trample that Trelasara lacked. It has the protection that Trelasara lacked. It just costs 2 more, and it has an ass on it at 5 toughness. Like I'm kind of excited for this. It's a bit tree folk tribal. Halflings. I'm gonna say a disappointment in halflings, but I totally get why it is. I wish halflings were Kithkin. They're like the same thing.
Right, but
in
then
my mind,
it wouldn't match.
It wouldn't work with Lord of the Rings. Right. So I get it, but I just wish it was because then it'd
open it up a little bit more.
Yeah. Other than that, I dig the card. It's gonna be I like life gain more than I should.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. What you got?
I like this card though. Everything you said. So
yep.
Cool. Except for the food tokens. No, I'm just kidding. I will say with this set, I'm going to point out 2 things. Hopefully these aren't your commanders, but they're 2. Well, I'll get to the end. They have done a good job of using the food tokens for not what the food tokens do. They have other sack outlets for them. And I like that in this. It's made the food more appealing to have, it's like, okay, that makes more sense. You're drawing a card if you sacrifice 3 or whatever. So I'm digging that a lot in this set, or even reducing them to tapping 1 and sacrificing them instead of, the whatever. So, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I will go with, man, I hope I remember if I like this one or not. I mean, I wrote it down and circled it, but I don't know. And then I went back. So I did Sauron the Dark Lord, what does that do again? Okay, so this is 3 colors. It's 3 and blue, black, and red. Has ward, sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. It is a 7/6. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass orcs 1. And then whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. So with this, kind of what you were just saying with your Trelasar deck, this one I could see. Now my Nekasar deck isn't built for necessarily me drawing, but I could switch it to make this my Nekasar replacement in a way. That one's more on everybody drawing and all that stuff and taking damage when they draw. But there is a lot in their synergies because I'm drawing just as much as everybody else and trying to do damage. So I think this could be a lot of fun that way because it's when you get tempted, you can discard your hand and draw 4 cards, so it has a little bit of built-in draw in there. This protects itself pretty damn good. I mean, you can't target it unless you're sacrificing a legendary artifact or legendary creature. I mean, that's a little tough unless most likely sacrificing your commander. There is a way to sack the ring, though, that would be indestructible. So this is one way to get rid of it. But I thought this one would be interesting. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you amass. So they're casting any spells, you're getting an army bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's just building up on your side. And then whenever the army part deals damage, you tempt. So I think this could be cool. This isn't one I'm going to necessarily build.
I've definitely I've seen some excitement for this one for sure. And so I get it. It's kind of like a Mana Gorger Hydra with the orcs. And like whenever they're casting the spell, you're just making it bigger and bigger. And so I think it's dope.
Yep.
Not on my list, though. You didn't get it.
All right. What is your next one? Number 3 for you. Well, it's all right. You don't have them ordered. I don't have mine ordered.
Not in order. Yeah.
Man, this beer is thick, and it's really juicy.
Yeah. Wow. I hope you compliment other people like that.
It's thick and juicy.
Like burger joints. That's a good burger. It's thick and juicy. I'm going to go with Sauron, the White Hand. One and a...
That is one of mine. All right. That's
all
fine.
right. 1 and a blue and a black and a red. I had a feeling that's what I took it.
Yeah.
I only have 5. You have like 9.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So 1 and a blue and a black and a red. It's a 2/5 avatar wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass orcs X, where X is that spell's mana value. And then that's just basically army.
Yeah. The same thing.
And then goblins and orcs you control have ward 2.
Yeah. So you could just be complete spell slinger and just build up your army, or even have sack synergies because you're casting spells and then sacking them. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
And one thing that I've been seeing about like the orcs X or the army decks, like having it be kind of like changeling focused a bit. Because changelings would be armies or orcs, and you can just pile on those counters on those creatures and you can choose where the counters go rather than having to go on that army or orcs or whatever. So that could be fun. I like that it's like as much as the mana value is, like that can be insane. Yeah. Like X spells just making a huge creature token out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So... But if you have the changelings, it doesn't quite work like that because you have the armies there. So you have to choose those if you have the changelings.
That's a good idea. Either way, I like the changeling idea because then, like you said, you got the choice instead of always just making the orc army or whatever. Yeah, right. I dig that. That's very nice.
So I think it's cool. I think it's powerful. It's cheap, and I don't know how much of the goblins and orcs part matters. Like giving them ward 2.
I mean,
I don't know how much I care about that.
It gives what you're making a little bit of protection, So
right, that's true. That's true. But it's not going to end up being like
it's
an orc and or goblin tribal deck.
You're basic. How I envisioned this one was spell slinging and using sacrifice effects because you're making them by casting spells. So then you have something to sack and not having to cast a creature to sack. You know what I'm saying? Like you're casting your instant and then sack that for whatever, draw 2 cards, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. So I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this. This was a late ad for me. Like I somehow missed it because I think it's in the Commander deck. I mean, it is in the Commander deck. And I think that's how I missed it. And then I added it to my side of like, oh, I want this somewhere in there. But the problem is I like the other Saruman as well. So I might as well just go to that Saruman.
Just go to that one.
Let's see. Was it there? No, I got to actually type in Saruman. I think it's the of many colors.
I like how they took the creatures or like the characters and gave them multiple variations throughout the movies, like uncommon versions, rare, mythic versions.
Yeah.
I really like how they did that rather than trying to fit Saruman as one card within this whole thing. That I like, because it also gives you that this happened at this movie, like with Gimli and Legolas with like counter of kills part. Like I know it's uncommon, but it's super flavorful and fun.
There's so much flavor.
That was kind of a
in
big
set.
part of it.
I love, this set is just full of flavor. It's awesome. So I did Saruman of many colors. It's 3 white, blue, and black. He is a 5/4 avatar wizard. Ward built in, discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, so this is my, like, I have all these decks that are like, this is replacing this. This is number 3 for mill deck because I might kill my captain and dude and make this. It's not necessarily mill, but it has it kind of built in. So whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. When 1 or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant, or sorcery card with equal or lesser value than that spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exiled card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. So I was like, okay, so this is also kind of like a spell slinger deck, and I could mill like because it's second spell each turn. It's not just your turn, so I could, if I'm casting 2 spells on other people's turns, everybody's milling, then I get a free enchantment, instant, or sorcery as long as it's less than what my spell was. So I think this could be a lot of fun. This one, out of the ones I've talked about so far, this is probably one that I could possibly build. I think I'm leaning more towards the last 2 to 3. I have 3 in here that I like better. But I think this one's fun. The hard part I have with it is it's 6. It's 3 white, blue, and black. I like the other Saruman a little better because it was 1 and 3. So it was only 4 casting costs. But I think this seems pretty fun. And the ward on these is kind of insane. Like the discarding a certain thing makes it really difficult for people to
that Sauron one. I was a little surprised that it just wasn't a legendary permanent, but maybe they think like planeswalkers are too easy.
Yeah. Well, they were doing flavor because they're talking about the ring bearer,
sword,
ring bearer, or the ring itself. That's the only way you're defeating Saruman.
Yeah.
Or Sauron. Yeah. Sorry, Saruman is what I'm talking about here. Saruman.
Wow, I thought you were a nerd. A Lord of the Rings nerd. What is your deal? I have been telling myself, don't fuck that up the whole segment here.
My brain is still in a fog from this weekend. That's my.
I believe it.
Yeah. So, anyways, this one I think will be a lot of fun. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to pick for my last. If I have to put these 2, we'll see what you pick.
I saw this one and I agree with you. It does seem kind of cool. My thing is like I'm wondering how often that'll hit. Like how you'll get a free spell or not. Like that would be my worry because when my spells,
like if you're playing 2 spells, they have to be kind of lower casting costs for you to, and then you might not hit. You might hit an instant or sorcery or enchantment, but it might cost more than the spell that you cast. So you might not actually get anything for free. Yeah, I can totally see that.
So that's the part where I'm like, oh, I mean, it could be fun to find out.
Yeah,
that's the thing. and maybe, let me see this. What's the word? Delve? Maybe it's a delve card or like deck.
So the graveyard,
where you're exiling your graveyard to help pay for the cost, and so that it's cheaper, but that second one can be a really big spell, so it can hit whatever happens. Like Treasure Cruise for 3, but it's still the mana value is still 8 or 7 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Or Dig Through Time.
I wish it had said
maybe.
I wish it had said whenever you mill cards, because then it would be my mill deck.
Then it would. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So what is your 4th card?
All right.
Fourth
That's gonna
Commander.
be the Balrog, Durin's Bane. Was that on your list?
Nope. What is it?
All right.
It's Balrog, Durin's Bane.
The Balrog, Durin's Bane. 5 and a red and a black and a red. That's the proper version. 7/5. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn. Not just for you, but everybody. It has haste, and then it can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. This is like that moment of you shall not pass in the movie. I thought it was fucking awesome. But and then whenever it dies,
shall not pass.
Yeah. It's how is that not one of the greatest lines in cinema, just in general? Like it just gives chills currently. And it's not even McKellen saying it. It's it's your impersonation of it. I loved it. So when the Balrog dies, destroy target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So it kind of reminds me of I think it's Dargo from the first Commander Legends, where it reduces the cost of things that you sacrifice, and it just so like treasures, clues, food, like those make it easy. Or if you have cards that allow you to have everybody sacrifice something, that can lower the cost by multiples. I think it's pretty easily playable for a 7/5 hasty.
So would this be more of a Voltron-y deck then? You're trying to kill people with
I don't think you have to Voltron it though. It's just get it out. It has haste, hard to block, and you just the problem is trying to make it fun, because if you're having everybody sacrifice card like their creatures, that can be pretty oppressive.
You're not making friends there.
Right. So if you turn it into your treasures, that's not bad. You can sacrifice 3 treasures. That brings you down to 2 and 4. So you just got to pay 1 mana to bring it out, essentially.
Yeah.
And so, or 1 land, tap 1 land for it. So the question ends up being how do you make it fun enough? But it's going to be a beater.
Yeah,
it's going to be a beater in my mind.
I like that treasure idea though, because you sacrifice 3, it reduces by 3. You're using that 3, and it only costs 1. So you can really be on the heavy side of treasures on that.
Yeah, and you have some of those red draw spells that are discard a card, draw 2, create a treasure or 2, and so that's really on there. Black is perfectly fine within treasures as well, with that tiefling, grim, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's plenty in red black treasures to just kind of do that.
Ooh. You could use that new the new bat thingy that's in this. What is it called? See, this is where my brain is. The one whenever a
thing is sacrificed, you gain a life or lose a life.
It's whenever a token comes in or leaves the battlefield, each player loses a life. Each opponent loses a life.
I want to say there's a background that does something similar, and also a creature.
Yeah.
So there's a handful of cards that would deal with that. The artifacts. So if you're going to treasures, you can do the 2 cards that everybody loses a life whenever. What is it? The one from Mirrodin, and then the one from Kaladesh. We liked them. We liked them.
Vault. What are you talking about? So when
an artifact goes to the graveyard, your opponents lose a life.
Oh.
And then the 6 mana one that loses life to the power of that creature, Marionette.
Oh yeah, Marionette Master.
Yes.
Yeah. That would work in there.
So those who could. So I feel like if you go towards the treasure, clue, food version, you can still keep your friends.
Yeah,
but
I
if
would
you go with
if you're going with everybody else,
everybody sacrifices, some blood style stuff.
I still think you would splash that in there because it fits in well with this, But I like the treasure idea with it because it doesn't matter how many times they kill it. If you're pumping out treasures, you'll be able to bring this back out easily. Yep. Yeah, I like that.
And I'm sure if people have bought or built Dargo, because it was kind of a combo commander. So if you look at that deck and see how that built, it potentially is also like you can fit some of that stuff in there, that tech. So now I didn't think I was going to build this, but now you're kind of talking me into it.
I think it'd be fun. I like the idea of the treasures. Once you brought that out, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. And then I don't know. I would probably do 3 attacks kills a player, but if you could somehow
double striking is easy in red.
Yeah, I like it. All right, my 4th one is gonna be Smeagol. I am doing Smeagol. I liked this right when it got spoiled, but Smeagol, helpful guide. It is 1 colorless black and green for a halfling horror. 4/2 at the beginning of your end step. If a creature died under your control this turn, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library. Until they reveal a land card, put that card on the battlefield tapped under your control and the rest in your graveyard. So I guess that I thought it was kind of a cool, I guess you do sacrifice creature stuff, but then you're also doing landfall probably mixed in with this, and you're taking other people's lands, which is very interesting and douchey.
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna say. But every time I try and take people's lands, they hate it. Like,
here's the other part of this whole thing: their stuff doesn't get shuffled back into their library; it goes into their graveyard. So my other thought with it is doing graveyard recursion, taking from other players. So
I dig that.
Yeah, like animate dead or like necromancy or something like.
Are you talking about good cards? You could do like Ashen Powder, which are like sorceries that take for a turn.
Yeah. Well,
you're just gonna be a full-on jerk.
Well, that's what I was like. You fill their graveyard up, and then you take their stuff and you start using it against them. So that's what I thought would be kind of fun with it. Because then at the same time, you're sacrificing stuff. You'd have to have, it'd be tokens. So you'd have your meat force to sack. But then you're getting land from it, So, but it's only your end steps, so it's not other people's end steps. So you can't do it on other people's turns to really take advantage of it. But still, you get a land out of it, and their stuff goes to the graveyard. If you can do some different graveyard recursions, you're gonna do Rise of the Dark Realms, or even the new Sheoldred does this very similar thing, or even the old Sheoldred does a similar thing. You could add some of those fun things in there. I thought this one would be really interesting. It's a different style of deck.
I do really like that idea because there's only like one other deck that does that, but it's it's the chronologist gal that ends turns.
Oh yeah, yep.
And so you have like Ashen Powder where you Doubt the Voidwalker. Yeah. But you like steal cards, and then there's a like sacrifice at end of turn trigger. And then you stop it, but this is you're just fucking taking their stuff.
Yeah.
And I do really like that idea. There is also from the latest Ravnica set where it's like 6 mana and then you pay life to bring stuff back as well. So
well, doesn't
not Mindslaver. Go away, Renshine.
Stop. Geth takes it from your graveyard, so that doesn't work. It's not everybody. I have my Kroxa deck that has a lot of those kind of things in it because it's more not for everybody else. It's more of I'm trying to grab from my graveyard. But this one I would put it as taking from other people's graveyards. That's what the main point of this one. And really, all you're doing is my thought process of this is you're putting about a bunch of tokens out, whatever creatures out. You're swinging in and you're letting them decide if they want to block and kill off your stuff. If they don't, you have sack outlets also to make it happen. But you swing in with your stuff and then you start hitting, go get land. Does it come into play tapped? It does come into play tapped, but and it's a land card, so it's not basic land. If you hit like Gaze Cradle, that's fun stuff, you know. So yeah, it's different. It's a different kind of deck. You could do the landfall part of it.
It'd be very different. Yeah. I agree.
So, what is your last?
Going back to what Pori is saying here, I don't know the full name. This seems like a new person here, but I don't remember Pain Distributor. But this is like the third or fourth time that I've seen descend into Avernus. And
pull that one up.
No, so Descend into Avernus, or are you talking about Pain Distributor?
Well, I could pull it both, but
but it's a treasure thing. So Descend into Avernus is like 3 mana, and then during your upkeep you put like 2 pain counters on it, and everybody takes the amount of pain or counters that are on it, and then you get that many treasures as well.
I'm not seeing
and like we were talking about at SmithCon, I think you weren't there, but it was just like that should be like the start of the game. Yeah. Like this, instead of Monarch or whatever, like everybody starts with this in the game.
Oh.
And so it's just like it speed up the game super quick. And I think I remember number 2 talking about this, how like there's a ton of synergies that really work with it as well. So I might be getting talked into building the Belrog. I think that sounds good. I don't have a black-red treasure deck necessarily either.
Now you got to do it.
That. I like Facebreaker. I don't know. I don't have to. I don't got to do shit. But all right. My last one is probably like my least likely, but it's going to be Sauron, Lord of the Rings, 5 colorless with a blue, black, red. Yep. 9/9 Avatar Horror. Whenever you cast this spell, amass orcs 5. Mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It has trample, and then whenever a commander an opponent controls dies, the ring tempts you.
So it's a lot, but you get a 5/5 and a 9/9, and potentially returning
that's
another
a cast trigger, not an ETB.
Yeah.
So if it's countered or whatever, and so this is an end game thing. So when you cast it, you get a 5/5, and when it comes into play, it's a 9/9 trample. I don't think I would necessarily really depend on the commander dying, like your opponent's commander's dying.
Right.
So the ring tempting you just isn't going to happen a whole ton.
This feeds into your childhood days of big ass creatures that do big ass things, because you're potentially doing 3 big things, you know, because you're bringing a creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. Would you think that it's a lot of putting bigger casting stuff creatures in the deck so that when it does the mill 5 or whatever, and maybe doing a lot of looting and stuff, so you're putting like maybe you're putting the Blightsteel Colossus or, you know, an Eldrazi or something in there.
Blightsteel gets shuffled.
Oh yeah, it gets shuffled. That wouldn't work. Shit.
You're right.
And the Eldrazi, the older ones wouldn't work either, because they also get shuffled in. So you're
right. I would say that I lack the idea of the direction I would go with this. It just feels like a lot going on for 8 mana.
Yeah.
The 5/5, 9/9 trample, and a reanimation target. And so that feels like enough for me, but also it's not really how it's like you're saying, it's old school how I used to like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like having my commander involved for more of the game rather than the end.
The old school of how you used to like it, missionary, where
like
now
Thraxamundar, like survive until
stuff.
that, and then you start right. So it's definitely like older school for me.
I just love how that whole
right.
conversation.
You can yeah, right.
Did you hear what
You're
I
right,
said,
Rencha.
I said
what?
The old school way you liked it, you know, missionary, and now you like doggy style, and you went
I missed
right.
That. I missed that.
You just went right.
I don't. I'm a huge fan of missionary still. Like it's not.
That's why you like this card. It's the
just
old
not
way
gone.
of doing it.
Well, it's the only way my wife can get pregnant. So it's.
Oh, that's funny. Inside jokes. Inside jokes.
Inside jokes. So I like this as kind of a game ender. Maybe I like it more as a a 99 in a Grixis Reanimator. But I think that's the route you go. You're right, Renchai, is just Grixis Reanimator, and then it's kind of on theme. You're more likely to have a huge creature that you want to reanimate at the end of the game rather than getting lucky in the mill 5, I guess.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, loot and maybe that's the only direction that you're taking this. So this is my least likely to get.
Be built. For your number
but
one.
I really liked it as a cast trigger.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sweet. Those 3 things on there is nice. Okay, so my number one, it's hard because I had something different. I will say, like, I liked Galadriel and Elrond.
Was it going to be Saruman?
No, it was not. This one also came in late with Saruman, the one that you picked. So these 2, I was like, oh, I really like these. I got to somehow fit those in there. I'll see what Lowry picks. And you ended up picking one of the new Saruman. But it's I guess I have a little bit of a theme going on with casting for free. But it's Grima, Saruman's footman. Oh, come on. Why did you do that? Grima. Let me just get that up. All right. So Grima, Saruman's footman. It's 2 colorless for a blue-black. Human advisor, 1/4. It can't be blocked. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then that player puts the exile cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of their library in a random order. I just thought this one was really cool because it's automatically, you're going through, you're depending on casting. You see the theme? I'm like taking stuff from people. So, you know.
Right. You're a jerk. Thief.
Smeagol is taking lands. And Grima is taking sorceries and instants, which is really good. Like, you could hit, some pretty big sorcery or instants, but you go until you hit it. And he's just doing 1 damage. Now, the part that I was thinking I would do with this build, if I was going to do this, I don't think I'm going to, but I would maybe do him more as a Voltron because he is unblockable. He can't be blocked. So you just start adding to it, and you're getting bonus from whatever instant or sorcery you hit from somebody else's. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have to figure out a way to defend myself because you are going to be pissing off people a lot with this because you're taking their spells from them, So,
this is also one that kind of piqued my interest when I saw the can't be blocked thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why it doesn't say unblockable, but beside the point.
Yeah.
But once I started seeing that you're taking people's stuff, like I just know that it's not good for the camera. And so I've kind of gotten rid of it as an idea. And I also know that's something that number 2 likes doing. So
he left it alone.
Well, he has that deck and he really likes it. So this will likely go in that or become it like, so, and I'm not saying you can't do it. But
I think
this is something I tend to just stay away from because it's not good on camera.
I think out of the 5, I think Smeagol seems like the most interesting one that I would probably build.
I can agree with that.
I do want to mention, so Galadriel and Elrond were pretty sweet. Why did they did very similar things, but I think I just want to show them really quick. There's just a lot of interesting commander things in this. It is of Lothlorien. So yeah, you like how I can get names of Lord of the Rings stuff, but pronouncing anything else with magic I can't do. It's because it's Lord of the Rings. So
can't even read.
Yeah, this I'm fine. Give me Lord of the Rings stuff and I can do it. But I just wanted to mention because Elrond does a very similar thing with I think with scrying. So I thought this would be cool with the scrying abilities. But she's only 3 to come out. It's 1 color, it's green and blue. Elf noble, but whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature that isn't Galadriel, you scry 3. So as long as she's not the ring bearer. And then whenever you scry, you may reveal cards from your library. If it's a land card revealed this way, put it on the battlefield tab. So it's a good way to like get your, you scry and then put the land on top and then it goes into the battlefield. But it's also, you can use it with all the other, finally we have our 2 scry commanders, which is kind of sweet because we haven't really had, we had a blue, the Sphinx that
Yeah.
Whenever you scry, you draw instead. So that definitely fits in here very well. So I just thought this one would be cool because it's anytime you scry. It's not just her ability. She has it built in, but there's a ton of scrying cards, and scrying's fantastic. So this one was originally in my 5, and then it kind of got cut because of Grima.
What were you going to talk about with the food?
Because these won't be mentioned in next week's episode because it is a legendary. I just wanted to say, like Peregrine Took is what I was.
Oh, whenever you have halflings attack, you just create that many.
No,
food?
but it's sacrifice. This is what I wanted to say was that they're utilizing the sacrifice 3 food tokens to draw a card. It says whenever one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. So that it seems
this is like a slap in the face to food, though.
Why?
Like it's saying 3 food are equal to 1 clue.
Right, because food sucks.
Right. So maybe what they should have done initially with food is just have it be a free sack.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what should have happened.
Just gaining life, and it's
right. Two mana's bad.
Right.
To gain 3 life.
Like
so
at the 2 spot of drawing, that's a good number. Like you get a little higher.
Yep.
You get 3 and it's doable, but 2 is like, oh, that's
clues,
a good
clues
draw.
are like perfect. They're not OP. They're not bad.
Yeah.
Like food is just like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's fucking awful.
The other one I wanted to mention that won't be in next week because it is legendary, but it's wasn't it Eleanor? What did I write there? Oh no. There it is. Hey, give me there. Just didn't spell it right. So that was another one. The Eleanor Gardner. 3 and a green, enters the battlefield, get food. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice their food this turn, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield. That makes it worth it. You're paying to sacrificing the land or food, and then you get to go get a basic land and put it on the battlefield tap.
Mm-hmm.
These are awesome cards, awesome ads to make food better. And
food is perfect with hobbits and like halflings. Like it's perfect.
Right. It fits.
Before we talk about it next week, I'll say it next week as well. But I think flavor wise, they hit it out of the park.
It's a 10 out of 10.
It's
like
perfect.
Everything's.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And cards wise, I think they did really, really good job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is like Modern Horizons amazing card wise, but it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's up there.
I like what they're doing here.
This is going to get opened a lot, and that's mainly, I mean, there's 2
because
parts, but it's the
ring.
One of
One, the ring is
that's
2 million bounty on it.
Over 2 million at this point, which is crazy. So the
that's
longer
crazy.
that doesn't get opened, let's hope it doesn't for a long time. Unless I'm opening it, I'll be happy with that. But if it doesn't get open for a long time, the cards are going to go. Everything's going to be cheap. You're going to be able to get what you want from this set and not spend a lot of money because it's going to be a shit ton of stuff out there. So let's just hope that it doesn't get open in like the first week because then people will keep buying.
That might slow things down a little bit. Yeah. I mean, everybody that is going for it probably pre-ordered anyway. So
yeah, but if it doesn't get open for a couple months, collector boxes are probably a good investment because you're going to buy them for whatever. And if the longer it takes to find the ring, those boxes are going to continue to hike up. So, yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting next couple weeks, maybe months here. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, all right. So that is our Fave 5 from the Lord of the Rings. We have our tournament.
I'm going to go get a beer.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
All right. He's getting a beer. If you guys, well, this isn't a game that's working wise, but we had the vehicle tournament. Last week we had the Elite 8 going up. So we actually had, what is it? We have unlicensed hearse. We had, now Lowry's back. We can kind of go through these. So we had our Elite 8 getting to the Final 4 this week. Let's go through these matchups here and see where everything shook out. I want to get your honest opinion with where you think things should have gone. Let's start with the first matchup here, and that is the number 1 unlicensed hearse going against number 8 Parhelion, number 2 Where do you think this shook out? And do you think it's close percentage-wise? Where do you think it's at?
I think Hearst wins, probably a big blowout. Parhelion does really well as like a finisher in a vehicle deck because that's on theme and stuff like that. But Hearst just can fit anywhere. That crew cost is super cheap. It can end up being really big. It's useful at all times. Like it's a solid card.
What if I told you this was our closest match and it was 53%?
Shut it. At what?
53%.
I'm still going to go Hearst.
It was Hearst, but 53%, man.
Wild.
This was by far our closest match of the week. Then we move into our second match, which was Smuggler's Copter, your number 2 pick, against number 7 Weatherlight Completed. Where do you think this one shook out?
I'm going to go with Copter, just having that standard cred and being a little bit of a boogeyman.
Yeah. 70% did go to Smuggler's Copter. So the number 1 and number 2 picks do move on, but yours moved on a little bit more easily than mine did. Then we get into our third matchup, which is Sky Sovereign Console Flagship against I have it covered. Not a Lloyd
ship.
Not going to work here anymore. Number 4, 4, and 5. Where do you think this one shook out?
I'd probably go Sky Sovereign. Just that ETB effect is nice because like goes in blink packages like Brago and stuff like that. Not a Lloyd ship is maybe more of a specific kind of deck, kind of like the Saruman. I'm gonna go Sky Sovereign.
70% as well went to Sky Sovereign. So Sky Sovereign moves on. And then our final matchup of the week, it is Reckoner Bankbuster, which just got banned, number 3 pick, against Shorekai Genesis Engine, number 6. How do you think this one ended up?
I got at least 1 vote from Jacuzzi, I'm hoping. That's I honestly don't know. They're very, very similar cards. Just Bankbuster is going to be able to be played in more decks being colorless versus blue-white. I'm going to guess that Bankbuster wins.
What if I told you this is the biggest blowout of the week? 78%.
Okay.
It actually went to Shorekai. So the upset.
Really?
Yeah, upset here.
That's our first upset this tourney.
Yep. So this is how it
just
looks.
being a commander.
Yeah, I think that
maybe just being a commander.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
All right.
So we got the final 4 matchups. So our first matchup is going to be Unlicensed Hearst going against Sky Sovereign. And then our second matchup is Smuggler's Copter going against Shorekai. So make sure you guys vote. I believe this week we will have the Discord and Twitter voting. Last week it was all up until we get to the final 4. We just keep it on YouTube, but you can always vote on YouTube for these. I think this week we'll add in the other 2 as well.
The other 2? Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So we have plenty of time. It's only an hour and 20 minutes. So we have, let me get to our screen here. And hit this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every wrong or no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he is considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. Hopefully he likes my clues this week. And if he can get everything about the card without knowing what the name of the card is, he will get the initials. And if he has still a bonus clue left over, if he still has a clue left over, he will get a bonus clue, which should help give it away. Card needs to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. If you do not stump Mr. Lowry, you can sign, like Cole sent us his. I don't know if you got yours on the wall yet, but he did not stump Lowry, so he signed a card and gave it to us. The card
it's lost within my decks currently, so I'll eventually find it.
Yeah, I got mine on the wall over there. The wall of non-stumpers.
Like an arm bazooka dick on the elf. I was impressed.
And like I mentioned before, it is the first 3 weeks. We have the foil proxy of Dryad of Elysian Grove. You will not find this art anywhere else because this is Wombo AI art that generated and made that fun bad boy. So that is the giveaway this week. We have Quinn that is going to try to be the stumper. I believe that is it. Oh, I eliminated the chat, so Larry can't see that. So chat can play along. And here, oh shit, I didn't add the flavor text in here. That is one thing I forgot to add this week.
Going back to old school. 2 weeks ago.
But luckily this isn't that long. So we'll see if we can get this on there. I can actually type it in while you're thinking there. So here we go. The seeds of new life take root in the soil of old. So I'm gonna write on here quick, but you go ahead and do your stuff.
It's really strange because I have a really old card that I don't think hits 2,000 or 10,000 decks that just instantly popped into my head. I believe it's called Gaia's Bounty. Not guessing that, but I'm gonna go with is this green color identity?
Hello, boobies.
All right. Were you looking down because I was right on Gaia's Bounty?
No, I was typing it all in. Can you see it now?
That's right. You're right. I see it now. Yeah. The seeds of new life take root in the soil of old. That's a good question. I got the first one right. I'm also going to think that this is probably a non-permanent card. Not a guess at this point, but let's go with first clue, please.
The art features a tree growing in an abandoned building. The art features a tree growing in an abandoned building.
Couple of spots that could potentially be something like Ravnica, like where like Selesnya is taken over in an area. I don't think it's Streets of New Capenna or Kamigawa like last year's stuff. We know that is green color identity. Could be multicolored, could be. Is this a non-permanent spell?
Hello, boobies.
Good question.
Patting yourself on the back. I see that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's go with the second clue, please.
The text features potential multi-card recursion and self-recursion. The text features potential multi-card recursion and self-recursion.
Life from the Loam.
Wrong.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
So confident.
Are you fucking close? No way. Life from the Loam brings 3 cards back. That's a multi-card recursion. And can bring itself back because it has the mill thingy. Holy shit, it's not Life from the Loam. It's green. It's a sorcery. It meets all the requirements of what you just said. Can you repeat that second clue, please?
The text features potential multi-card recursion and self-recursion.
Right, the potential part. For Life from the Loam, all you need is 1 land in the graveyard. Can you repeat that again? I'm semi-tilted currently.
You were so confident, and so
I was
wrong.
super confident.
It does fit everything you're saying.
I am competent, but I was very confident.
The text features potential multi-card recursion and self-recursion. It's funny. Renshai wrote, "Knowing Quinn, it's got to be green."
All right, recursion means from the graveyard.
Are you trying to be like, Adam, you messed up on your clues again? No, I didn't.
Being very all right, and potential self recursion Okay, so
the art features a tree growing in an abandoned building.
Right. How is this not Life of the Loam? Throwing stuff. Okay. Calm down. So this is green. It could be green black. Is this? Is this from a Ravnica block?
No.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Okay. All right.
No.
Potentially recur itself. It's green. Still feels like it could potentially be green black. That's non.
Yes, Renshai, you're on the right track.
Potentially recur itself? Just clarifying, in a commander game?
What? What do you mean?
It can recur itself in a commander game.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I don't know. That question throws me off.
Well, it's just kind of like you can regrowth a regrowth back to your hand.
So two regrowths. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, but it has self recursion built in on it.
So there's potential flashback. There is, but that's not really recursion. But I guess that could be like. So what's? It's not from Ravnica, so the other one doesn't matter. The delve or not the delve, but there's. I don't know how it can come back to itself. I'll take. It's non-creature. It has a potential to recur multiple things and itself. How in the fuck is this not Life from the Loam?
You're so hung up on it.
Right. It just is. I'll take the third clue, please.
This card is in 13,000 EDH rec decks. First printed in Shadows over Innistrad, actually the only printing, and most seen in Hayden and Paco decks.
Ryan!
I thought it was funny we were talking about that earlier. I was like, oh, just wait for Stump to Smith Savant.
A green blue. So it's red, green, blue. Potentially. That's the deck that you're holding in Paco, best boy.
First printed
Shadows
and only printed
Innistrad.
in Shadows over Innistrad.
That's how many decks is it in?
13,000 EDH rec decks.
13,000. So it's a low-ish amount. At least that should be able to get me off of Life from the Loam at least. And I know that it's not green black.
You still don't believe me.
It could be potentially green red, green blue, green red blue. That would be tough if it was green red blue. I don't think I could think that through. Is it monocolored?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. Can you run through it all again?
Yep,
please.
I'll read this just for the people that are listening. The seeds of new life take root in the soil of old. The art features a tree growing in an abandoned building. The text features potential multi-card recursion and self-recursion. This card is in 13,000 EDH rec decks. First, only printed in Shadows over Innistrad, and most seed in Halden and Paco decks.
So we're saying recursion, and so if it's self recursion, I'm pretty sure there's flashback there. So does it have flashback?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Okay. All right.
3 wrong.
2 wrong?
3 wrong.
3 wrong? Ew. All right. So we know it's monocolored green. It's a non-permanent spell. So there would have to be like a trigger that potentially brings it back to your hand. It recurs potentially multiple things, which kind of goes with not necessarily at one time, just one at a time, recur it, one at a time, recur it. That's potentially what's happening here. It's not very good, but it's good enough in a 13,000 deck.
Old of a set.
Yeah. Holden and Paco were potentially popular. I don't know how many decks are in that, but it's not non-existent either. So they're probably in that plays stuff from exile. So that could also be like at exile, like being able to cast it from exile. That is not going to hit anything in my brain. There's so some type of trigger bringing it back to your hand to be able to recast.
You could do narrow the type of card it is. I don't know if that'll trigger anything. You still don't know.
So. But I would say this is a sorcery.
Hello, boobies.
So we got sorcery, green card, Shadows over Innistrad.
That's about it.
13,000.
That's all the work I've done.
Has potential multi-card recursion and also recurs itself. Self-recurs. Same thing.
Not really.
Is the
not what I'm struggling.
Is the North Dakota boys gonna get you back-to-back weeks?
They might be.
Ryan and
they
Quinn?
might be here. This is not hitting anything here.
No one on the though we don't have a lot of guessers this week on the chatters.
That's the only. I
think everybody's.
Did
still
anybody
hung
get
over.
it yet?
No,
Nobody's got it.
We really
yet?
only have Renshai that's in there.
All right.
I think everybody's hung over from this weekend.
I'm
going
super
to bed.
tired.
I know I am too. I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I wish I could make this quicker. And that's what I said last night.
Thoroughly happy that we did not get Malord shots. That is what I am very happy about. And even if we got it now, we would not take it now because it's too late in the cast.
It wouldn't even be fun.
So you know, don't even try it.
I
don't know how I can help guide you anymore.
It's a green sorcery. It's monocolored. It's yeah, no, it's a struggle. Okay, so it recurs permanent spells.
Is that your question?
That's my question.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
I mean, are you asking specifically for it's just permanent spells?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a no.
That's
you don't have to hit the button again. So it can recur.
Wrong.
So 4 wrong.
Did anyone else guess lightning bolt? It is not a jackal or lightning bolt.
I guess the real thing is it can only specifically do a permanent spell. So like it can't get an instant or sorcery. That's more of what I mean. I'm not saying like if I can only get a land, that's not what I'm necessarily asking. I'm just trying to cut off
there isn't
permanents and non-permanents.
There isn't a specific thing.
to clarify.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 4. Is this
Just get ready to press the wrong button.
right? I think, is this 3 mana or more?
Hello, boobies.
You asked a good question. Keep yourself
That's
alive.
what it feels like. So it's likely having to pay mana to bring it back to hand. That's my guess. But I don't know.
If you don't get this, Quinn will have you also doubled up. He got you stumped the last time he was chosen back a few 3 months ago.
He's a smart cat. You kitty. Wow. This is a good one. Am I gonna be frustrated when I see this? If you tell me if I don't get it?
You'll know it. Yep, Renshai has the initials, right?
Okay. Shadows over Innistrad. Recursion. It's not flashback. So
You want to run through everything one more time?
yeah, one more time. I think I'm fairly. I said I was gonna have a struggle bus today.
The seeds of new life take root in the soil of old. The art features a tree growing in an abandoned building. The text features potential multi-card recursion and self-recursion. Card is in 13,000 EDH rec decks, only printed in Shadows over Innistrad and most seen in Halden and Paco decks. You know it is green. You know its converted mana cost is 3 or greater. You know it is a sorcery. What else did we figure out? I think that's about it.
That's about it. I'm okay.
I would say guess a converted mana cost. Keep doing that until you get it wrong.
Let's go green and 3.
Green and 3.
Wrong.
Oh, it's probably. Hold on. That one doesn't count. 2 green and 3.
Wrong.
Okay, that was a real guess. Two green and 3. I don't know.
What if I said with the recursion, it's return any number of cards with different mana costs?
Shit. Is it like Seasons of the Past?
You're close.
It's 2 and 4 green, or 4 and 2 green.
It
sorcery.
Is Seasons Past. Yeah.
Nice job.
Life from the Loam gotcha, because it fit everything that you were thinking. You're like,
right.
It's a tree.
Right.
It's growing in a building. It's doing all of that stuff. So you can see the surrounding background.
Goes to the bottom. Yeah. I did not remember that part.
Yeah. So yeah, the self-recursion.
Yeah,
Don't even say you wouldn't consider that self-recursion. It is. It's putting itself back in the library. Don't get picky with my clues when you think it's life from the Loam. All right, Quinn. You win this.
Nice job, Quinn. That was a good one.
Grove. So you get that one. We'll have a new proxy next week up for grabs. So don't forget to send in your suggestions to our email, commandersmiths@gmail.com.
Yep.
That is the unless you're on the Discord, you can also shoot me a direct message so Larry doesn't see it. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap things up for this week. We'll have another big Lord of the Rings episode next week. We'll have the announcement of I think next week will be when the battle boxes is potentially happening, and at least the just to kind of give you guys a little heads up, the collector box openings, I'll be doing those in increments of every 2 hours when I actually get them. Gonna be doing a little fun thing with that.
Hold on.
Oh,
good. There we go.
For you. So look out for that. So if you aren't on Discord and want to watch those videos, make sure you're on YouTube and have the little bell thingy. It'll notify you there, or you can follow us on Twitter. That's the other way you'll get notified. So all right. Well, I think that'll wrap things up for this week. Make sure to check out Lowry's Spotlight video this week as well on Thursday. Thursday, right? You said that? Thursday?
Thursday. We'll do it Thursday.
All right. So check that out and curated tomorrow. That should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Shut up.
I love
Sorry,
boobs.
that was. I tried to do the burp within the bye, and
boobs. Some
didn't work.
bumpers for hunters. I
There we go.
love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Don't kill the Commander Smiths. Don't do it.